Well, hello again, YouTube friends. Yep, it's me again, Richard Matthews, Mess About One, in northeast corner of Alabama, and I'm about to make another video. And I want to thank all y'all I've made 2 videos in the last 2 days, and I've had some old-time viewers and some new viewers come on and talk to me about the videos that I've made, and had some good compliments, and I appreciate that. You guys are great. And I had a little free time this morning, so I thought I'd come out again and make another video. And I really enjoyed the last 2 days of making those videos. It's let me get back in the habit of trying to make a video, especially a walking and talking video on my little Hero 4 camera. And I'm using it again today. And today, thank goodness, the sun is not out bright. The last 2 days I've had a lot of trouble with the sun making flares into the lens of the camera, but today it's just very pleasant. It's overcast, and this is, to me, perfect conditions for making a picture or a video, so I thought I would do it. And it's a little cooler today. Yesterday it got up a little warm here. It got up to about 50, not 50, about 82 degrees, and it got quite warm while I was out walking around. But today it's only in the low 70s. I think right now, let's see what it is. It's, well, hold on. It's 68 degrees right now, so that's not bad. And this is a Friday, the 12th day of April in the year 2019, and as I said, I'm in the northeast corner of the state of Alabama, and I have come to a beautiful place. It's a lot different from places I've been in the last couple of days along the Tennessee River and the backwater lakes of the Tennessee River. This is a place called Buck's Pocket, and it's a state park, but it's not a very highly used state park, as very few people use it anymore. It's kind of remote, and to get here I had to come from Scottsboro, where I was yesterday, down in the Tennessee Valley along the Tennessee River. I had to come up Sand Mountain that I showed you yesterday and come down several miles and back down into a cove here that's called Buck's Pocket. And there's a beautiful stream runs off of here, and it runs off into the creek I also showed you yesterday called North Saudi Creek. So I'm here, and I bet you can hear the water already, and I'm here by myself, nobody here. And I'm going to have to be careful walking down through here because it's a lot of rocks and pebbles and big boulders. There's some boulders in here, not in this particular place. There's some boulders in here on downstream, and I don't know how far downstream I'll go, but there's some down there as big as a house, and for sure bigger than a bus. So I'll show you where we are. Somebody's been down here and made them a little rock stack. I don't know what you would call it. I guess there's a name for it, and I'll show it to you here in just a second. And I'm going to make my turns today real slow, because I noticed on the video, especially yesterday, I really wheeled things around too fast, and I know that's not good video making, and it's not good viewing. So I'm going to go real slow today. But here's a little stack up of rocks that I was talking about. Somebody has stacked that thing up there and made them a little balanced rock. See if I can get a little closer without falling. And it's got a little small one up on top. That's kind of neat. I like that. And for some reason, somebody has notched a big notch out of a tree there. I have no idea why. And here's the stream I was talking about. And it is wild and free water. Beautiful. And while I'm there, I'm going to walk up this way like I said, I'm going to have to take my time because there's all kind of little boulders. Let me show you a little of the boulders down here. All kind of little boulders. I've got to step over rocks. Some small and some big. And I probably made that turn too fast and violated my own rule. But I'll be looking down a lot. If I don't, I'll fall down and break my neck. I'm going to turn the camera back around and let you see where I'm going instead of watching me. And I'm trying not to turn it so fast. Not easy walking. But I'm almost down to the water's edge. Probably bouncing the camera around a lot. And I bet you can hear that water, and it sounds beautiful to me. I'm going to go down. And this is such a beautiful place. But in all beautiful places, sometimes bad things happen. And I have a little story to tell you about something that happened here just a month or so back. You can see out there where the road crosses the creek. And it's kind of a dam, but it's built so that when the water pours off of this creek goes back miles up on Sand Mountain, and all kind of little creeks feed off into it. You get a huge volume of water coming off in here. When we have a heavy rain, this whole area in here floods, and they've made that little bridge there so that they knew it would possibly be washed out, couldn't handle the water flow. So what it does in normal conditions, there's 3 huge pipes under it that let water come through. But in real high water, it just floods over the top of that road there and washes on down. It'll completely cover up that road. And we had a condition, we've had a real heavy rainy season this winter. It has rained, just torrential rains, just almost every week this winter. You see now the creek's kind of gone back down to a somewhat normal level. But there for weeks and weeks, it will be flooded down in here and flood that bridge, a road there on occasions. And I guess it's been a month and a half ago maybe, we had one of those heavy rains, and a lot of people come down. They actually get in the water here, kayakers, and go down, rest of the way down, all the way down into the Tennessee River. There's hikers come back in here. There's 4-wheel vehicles come back in here to enjoy the trails and things like that. But anyway, on that occasion, when that water was so high, and I think it was late in the afternoon, it might have even been on toward dark, some teenagers came off in here in a Jeep, and I think I believe now there were 4 teenagers, maybe 2 boys, 2 girls in the Jeep. They came down there, and I'm sure that was flooded over, but they decided that they could go ahead and cross that road since they were in a 4-wheel drive vehicle. And you'll see another vehicle coming off of there. So they did that, and the water was so high and so swift that it washed their Jeep off into the creek there. 2 of them, I think, 3 of them, I guess it was, got out of the Jeep, and somebody helped them ashore. But one of the teenagers couldn't get out of the Jeep, stayed with the Jeep. It washed off in there, and sorry to say that that teenager was drowned in that occasion. The Jeep went underwater. They came back and searched for the boy and couldn't find him, and they did that day after day and couldn't find him. And I don't know how many weeks it went on. And again, the water stayed up awful high during those weeks, and just couldn't find the Jeep, couldn't find him either. And you can imagine the flood of water coming off here and going on downstream. This would have been downstream. And you can see that these rocks have been covered up completely with water. So the water level was probably up maybe 10-15 feet higher than what you see right here. And they had all kind of search crews come in and use all kind of equipment, and they had helicopters and drones come over and try to see the Jeep or see the teenager, and just could not find him. Went on and on and on. And finally, like I said, this creek washes all the way down the rest of the mountain here and goes into the Tennessee River, empties into the Tennessee River, the backwaters of the Tennessee River, called North Saudi Creek. And there was a fisherman down there in that area, and he noticed something over on the side of the creek, and sure enough, it was a body of the teenager that had drowned up in here. So sad thing. And they did, when the water went down and got down to about this level, somebody spotted the wreckage of the Jeep, and it was just smashed to pieces from being tossed and tumbled down on all these large boulders down this way. And I noticed right up there, I don't know if you can see it, somebody's put a memorial up, some flowers and a little cross, and I'm sure that was put up for the teenager that lost his life here. So even though there's much beauty, there can also be much sadness sometimes. And I'm sure he's not the only one that's been drowned here, because it's high use area sometimes during the summer for swimming and diving and kayaking. But just wanted to bring you along here and show you some of the other beauty in Jackson County, Alabama. This kind of sits on the line, and I don't know where the line is, between Jackson County, Alabama, and I believe it's Marshall County, maybe DeKalb County, but they all kind of three come together right in here. Well, that's where I am, and I think what I'm going to do is go up here. I'm going to cut the camera off and kind of go back up here and try to walk down the trail and show you some of the bigger boulders. But to do that, I'll cut the camera off, I think. I may leave it on for a while. I've only been going 12.5 minutes so far, so I may leave it on. And again, I've got to walk real careful up through here, or I'll break my neck. But I'll be on solid ground here in a little bit. Not an easy walk for sure. Let's see, I guess this would be the best way to go. I can see all kind of mud on these rocks where it's washed off of here and covered up. I think it's been up even higher than this. I think right here would have been the maximum. Yeah, I can see where brush is washed up into the woods down here, so it's been up this high. And I'm going to guess this is a good 15-20 feet above the level of the water there right now. Beautiful area. And you can see our trees are still leafing out. They're not completely there yet. There's some brush that's washed up here. I think I can go back around this way and go down a little trail. Let's see. And I'm just going to let you watch the trail instead of watch me. It'll be much more pleasant, I'm sure. And like I said, I don't know how far down this way I'll walk. If it gets to be too boring, I'll turn around and come back. But this is a wild area. Very little development here, especially since it's a state park now. You see where they worked on the road some. They pulled some dirt down here to repair the road. I've enjoyed being back on YouTube last couple of days, and some of my old friends came back. Had a couple of people say, I've been watching you since I was a teenager. I don't remember the names right now. I should write them down when somebody makes a statement they don't want to repeat. And they said things like, I'm grown now and have children of my own. Let's see what the sign says up here. It says Bucks Pocket Primitive Campground Road, closed to motorized vehicles, foot traffic only. Open sunrise to sunset, no camping, authorized vehicles only. No motorized vehicles, foot traffic only. That's a good idea. Because if it wasn't, there'd be all kind of four-wheelers. Oh boy. Just had a little problem there. Messed around and pulled off my microphone. I'm sure you heard my audio go down. I'm going to have to clip it back on so you'll hear some noise going on here. Glad I noticed it, or I'd have been talking to myself. Okay. Sorry for the noise. Now we're back hooked up. Anyway, what I'm saying, I'm glad they regulate the traffic back here, but it wouldn't be very primitive if you opened it up and let all kind of vehicles come back in here. It'd be a constant stream, I'm afraid, on weekends. But it makes it pretty nice that you can walk back through here and not hear anything running like a lawnmower or a chainsaw. And I want to show you this. I'm up from the stream down there. I'm probably 30 feet above the stream. But without doubt, the river has been this high and washed this stuff up against these trees like this over here. If you can imagine what kind of volume it would take coming down through here, and I'll show you down there where the stream is, way down there. And I'm 25, 30 feet above what it is right there. And I'm not sure, I see some more up here that's been washed up even higher than that. So this whole little cove in here was full of water. And I can't imagine the volume of the water that poured off of here. Let me show you another one up here. A little butterfly, I don't know if you saw him or not. Somebody in some of the comments on the last two videos, I had down at Goose Pond Colony, I had seen some turtles on the log. I think I counted 13 turtles on the log. But I only had my little GoPro camera with me, so I couldn't zoom in on them. And somebody said, I'd really like to see those turtles. I wish you had a zoom. So I brought my camera with me that has my telephoto lens. I don't have it with me right now. But what I'll try to do is on some of these things, I'll take both cameras. And then if I see something that's way off that I'd like to show or see, I can zoom in on it, but I don't have it today. So I'm going to turn you back around, slow and easy. This little gimbal is working just great, although it's battery powered. I didn't charge the batteries last night, so it might go out at any time. So that would be a abrupt end to the video. And I'm still going uphill. Now I can't say this is washed up or not. It sure looks like it has been. Now I'm almost cresting a little hill here. Yeah, this is the peak right now. But here, I'm not good at making estimations, I guess. But my guess at this point right here, I'm at least 50 feet above where the water is running right now. And I can't say for sure, but things have washed through here. I love places like this. And if you're a nature lover, I'm sure you do too. Somebody said yesterday on one of the videos about how peaceful and relaxing it was. And this place here, you can get relaxed in a hurry. Just find you one of these nice cool rocks above water level and sit there and listen to the stream. And I want you to look, here's some of those boulders I was saying as big as a house. And I'm hoping this looks okay on the screen. Look down in there. You can go down there and climb up on that and just bring you a little hammock or a little pad and have some fine sleeping on top of that big old boulder right there. Oh boy. There's not any easy way to get down there or to go, but and you still hear the water, I'm sure. You can kind of see the water. But I'm saying we're 40 feet above where the water is right now. I'm gonna walk down a little further. Kind of worry about my truck being parked back by the road. So there's not much traffic back here, and there are some vandals and thieves around. And I did leave my camera in the truck, my big camera, my telephoto camera. I'd hate to have that thing absconded with, but I'm gonna go a little further. This little gimbal just works great, and I don't think I used it a whole lot when I bought it before I stopped making a lot of my YouTube videos. But I'm well pleased with it. There are better models on the market now, I'm sure, but this one does a good job for me. I can't remember now what I paid for it. It wasn't inexpensive, but it wasn't terrible either. Without it, this GoPro has no stabilization, and without it, it'd be all bouncing around and carrying on crazy and everything. But this one, that little gimbal helps a lot. I found a little flat area here, and it has looks like some trails down by the water. I'll see if I can go down that way. I'll show you back to this side of the mountain. I've got bugs flying around me. One thing about being in the woods, you're going to have bugs and critters. All that beautiful moss and lovely, lovely, lovely. So I'm going to try to go down. If I don't slide down and break my camera. I don't know if I can go down through here or not. Well, maybe a little ways. I didn't bring my hiking boots. I wore my boat shoes, which are not great for hiking. Great for boats, but not great for hiking. This I may spend the rest of the day right here. I want you to look at this. Now I'm up on top of a boulder here, the size of a car, a truck. You hear the leaves crunching. And the reason you don't hear the rush of the water here so much is because this has kind of come out into a little pool here. I'm sure it's rocks that have it dammed up down below here. But look at some of those rocks there. It's huge. All up through here. It's huge, huge, huge. Wonderful. And that one there I'm standing close to. And that thing is the size half of a house, just that one right there. So these things they were formed here when this mountain was formed. And then when the water started running down, it washed all the soil off of the top of them. This is what was under all that soil. Of course, these are limestone rocks. We're just overly blessed with limestone rocks here in this area. I may fall off this big rock. I'm gonna try to sit down here. I guess you heard me bump when I hit the rock. This one is a little steep for spending the day on. I'd want a flatter rock if I was going to spend the day. Anyway, here I am. And I'm glad I came and glad you got to come along with me. Oh boy, here we are at 25 minutes again already. Yeah, I'm not going to make this one run an hour. It takes too long to process it. It takes too long to upload it. And I think people might get tired of it after an hour or something. It's lovely. Mighty pretty. My kind of place. And this was within, I say I can drive here from where I live in 15-20 minutes, but I hardly ever come up here. As pretty as it is, and as quiet and peaceful as it is, I hardly ever come up here. But I should. I need to come back when the water's up and do a video then, show you the difference of the water. It's calm and peaceful here now. The water is running on down below, and up above you can hear it splashing. Right here it is just pooled out. And that would be a pretty good little swimming spot right there. It looks like it might be, oh, it's deep, probably 10-15 feet deep right there. All kind of rocks to sit on. The snakes are not that bad. Usually around here the water snakes are water moccasins, or we call them cottonmouths, because they have a white mouth when they open up the mouth to bite you. And they swim. They get water snakes, so they do swim. Of course, rattlesnake can swim, not as well as a cottonmouth. But anyway, we have water moccasins, and copperheads are a dangerous snake around here. Rattlesnakes are less dangerous in that they kind of warn you with the rattle. The old cottonmouth will just lay there and you walk by and it'll bite you. Don't have too many coral snakes. I guess it's a little far north of that. Do have some, I think, but not many. But the main ones are the rattler, the copperhead, and the water moccasin are the main, I think, the main three poisonous snakes. But all of those, if you, it's I won't say it's hard to get bitten by them, but if you watch what you're doing and are careful, it's rare that you'd be bitten by one. They kind of avoid people. If they hear you rustling around and banging around, they'll go somewhere else and leave you alone. We're saying if you happen to step over a rock or step over a log or something and your foot landed and then the snake felt threatened, he'd probably bite you. There again, there's some good serums nowadays. It's still a terrible bite. I mean, some people have lost fingers, hands, arms, whatever, toes, feet, from being bitten by a poisonous snake around here. So it's not something you want to have happen. Oh boy. Yeah, still thinking about the tragedy that happened here. I can't remember where they found the Jeep down through here, but it was on down the stream. But like I say, his body went all the way down to the calm water in the valley, in the Tennessee Valley, there in what's called North Soddy Creek, or South Soddy Creek. And washed up on the sandbar where it was found. Sad. And a little breeze getting up. I need to get me a better windsock on this little microphone. I noticed yesterday I had to cup it with my hands. It's got a little tiny windsock on it. I need to maybe get me a little better windsock. So, I'm not going to keep the camera running on the way back, but I'm going to give you one slow pan here. Hoping I'm not moving too fast. I'm going to go real slow. And I'm going to be quiet so you can hear the water gushing. Whoa. And I didn't do that. It turned around. The camera's little gimbal turned around and looked at me. And I didn't turn it. I didn't have to turn it. I guess it turned around so I could say goodbye. Thank you all for watching again. I hope I'm not boring you too much. This thing's run on half an hour, 30 minutes. I'm having a good time though, and it's doing me good to get back on and see that you folks are still around. I haven't been counting how many's watched the video, but used to, when I was on a pretty good bit, I would post a video and it'd get 250, 300 views. And I understand when people don't expect me to be on that they don't maybe look for my videos. But I think the last few I did, I think the last two I did are up almost 100 views. And the last, some of the Dixie Raisin things went up to maybe 200. But you think about it, and of course I know there's a worldwide audience here that you could have millions. I never had, well, I have had one video, and it's I won't talk about it, but it wasn't much of a video. In the early days, they got 2 million views on one video, and it was short video. I may have to bring that up as one of my new videos and show where I got 2 million views one time. But what I'm saying, it wouldn't be bad if you wanted to have, say you were a singer and you wanted to have put on a little show, and you invited people to come. If you got 100 or 200, especially in this area, if you got a couple of hundred people coming in to watch you sing, you'd feel successful. So I guess on here, if you get 150 or 200 people watching from different parts of the world, I guess mainly the U.S., but I do have viewers all over. That's not bad. It's a pretty good audience. And I still don't understand why people want to watch what I say, but they do, and I appreciate it. Somebody mentioned that it was relaxing and calming part of it that they like. And I know it's not my good looks, that's for sure. And some people say it's my storytelling ability, but I'm just jabbering. I have, on very few videos have I ever used, I've never used a script. I may have written down some facts and memorized some dates or something on some things I did, but I never used a script. Because I'm just jabbering. That's what we're saying in the South when you're just talking to hear your head roar. You're just jabbering. So I jabber on, and people watch it. I don't know why. Okay, I'm going to shut her down and go back and hope nobody's stolen anything out of my truck. I'm not that far away. We didn't walk down here maybe a half mile, if that far. So I'm not too far back, especially if I'm not trying to take videos. I can walk faster. I want to say goodbye to you. This is Richard Matthews, Mess About One, in the northeast corner of Alabama, in the deep south, in the United States of America, on the planet Earth, and in the solar system of our sun. And I don't know what you call our galaxy. I won't go that far, but we're in the galaxy too, and in the universe is where we're located. That always amazes me when I say that, when you start locating yourself all the way out to the universe. And some people say there's multiverses. Country boys have a hard time understanding when you start talking about multiverses, I tell you. Anyway, I'm quitting. Thank y'all a lot. I appreciate every one of you that watches and comments, and join me here on the Mess About One channel. Like for you, if you're a new viewer or old viewer and not subscribed, to subscribe. I think I'm just like a few tens away from 2,500 subscribers, and I'd like to see that grow, just so that YouTube won't take me off of their happy list one of these days if my viewership goes too low. So subscribe if you haven't. If you've got a neighbor or a friend or a family member that might like, have them subscribe to me also, and get my numbers up a little bit so YouTube won't kick me off one of these days if they keep changing the rules. Okay, have a good weekend, and I don't know if I'll make any this weekend or not. I've done pretty good these last 3 days. This is the third one in 3 days. I think that's a record, maybe. I might look back. Y'all may have encouraged me into a record. So I don't know if I'll come back on the weekend, but I will come back. And I think the next thing I'll do is do that next Dixie Raisin series episode where we move for the second time back to the little frame house up on Robert E. Lee Highway in a big pine thicket. We didn't stay there long, and I'll try to reason why we moved back and why we didn't stay there long. Okay, goodbye, good weekend, thanks a lot, see ya.